welcome back.
Yeah, missed out the last time.
Everybody to the Wild Wild West, a state that's untouchable like
and as the good doctor says, let's welcome everybody back to Talking Hoops. You guys know it is a different intro from what you guys have seen before in the past, so we hope that you like and enjoy the new intro, the new look. And by the way, speaking about new looks, some people are looking a little fly tonight. I'm just saying. I mean, Ron's got the new do, Coach Mack has got the new do, Coach T. I mean, everybody's on spot here tonight.
You know, what can I say? Girls love her curls.
What up to your new dude, man?
Not listen. I got no. The only thing I did was I added a little line here to the side. That's about it. But everything else, I got to start pretty soon. I got to do doing a spray can because between the stress and everything else, everything is just kind of going away. So I'm either that or shoe polish, one of the two. But wait, did we lose? Coach Johnson, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you guys. Are we
Okay.
live?
Yeah, we are live.
Because it's just showing me I'm backstage.
Oh no, you're on stage.
Oh.
You're with everybody right here.
Oh, well, hello.
See, no, what it is because see all the new dudes up there. That's what it is. Y'all looking so fly that we had to reset everything, change the layout, the whole 9 yards. New logo. Hopefully, you guys end up liking the new logo out there. And things will change as hopefully in the new year. Things are going to change a little bit. So obviously, you guys got a little song intro in the very beginning. In between, there will be commercials, just like you do on a regular digital radio show here on Sports Radio 102.9 FM The Game. And if you guys had followed us over from Martinez and Company over on the Tony Bruno Sports Network, I thank you for tuning in here on Sports Radio 102.9. Numbers, names, everything else. Lord knows there's so many different things that end up balancing between a 6 to 8 show and then us here tonight. And by the way, if you'd like to call and or text into the show, you can do so also at 727-858-6650. Once again, 727-858-6650. So text in, let us know how we're doing. Hopefully everybody enjoys it. Thank you all for coming back. It's been a crazy whirlwind. And so we missed last week, as you guys know, over on the other side of the house on the Tony Bruno Sports Network. We've been trying to get audio fixes, telephones working, all kinds of stuff. It's been work after work after work. And I think at this point, at least I know I'm here with the best crew in town. And I do appreciate my entire crew here. Coach Mack, Ron Briscoe, you guys know him also as AKA Mr. Worldwide. Although Mr. 305 might have a little problem with that in Miami, but we'll still give you Mr. Worldwide there, Ron. And then, of course, Coach Johnson, who's been from L.A. and back. And apparently when she went to L.A., she got a little tightness going on over here. So it's okay. It's looking good. And but listen, I appreciate you guys as always. And tonight we'll get into some of that in-season tournament, which I think it's been an absolute bust. I'm just saying, to me, look at the Final Four. Let's really look at this. The Final Four, where you got the Lakers, the Bucks, the Pelicans, the Pacers. Now, I will say, as I said over Martinez and Company, when you really look at it, it's almost like if you have Utah playing Atlanta. Who in the world would watch that one? But you look at the way LA ended up winning, supposedly, allegedly, the way they won the game last night. And to me, come on. You can't tell me that the fix is not in for LA to be there representing.
Do you really think it was a fix last night because of the way that the referee made the mistake with the basketball not being in nobody's hand, and he just looked at LeBron, and LeBron said, "Give me a timeout." The referee said, "You got it."
But it was casually done. Like, how can you casually call a timeout in a moment such as that?
Without looking and going around and saying, "Hey, does he? Who has the ball?" And then not, talking to your buddies and saying like, "Hey, should I call a timeout or not?"
Right?
And it was just crazy.
Now, I will say this though, Ron. I will say this though. good coaches always say it should never come down to one play.
Yes, ma'am.
So, so
That is true.
I'm a Laker girl. I'm a Laker. I'm a
She's
Laker.
a California girl. That's what it is.
But I do have to agree, as a referee, to be able to make such a big call and not have full vision of the play,
Mhm.
it makes you wonder, right? It
Yes.
really makes you wonder. But I will say one thing about referees this year, they've really started off the year having impacts on some games.
Mm.
We saw Udoku, the former Celtics coach, get thrown out of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Which is it inappropriate? Yes, but to be ejected, was he ejected because it was LeBron?
Good
No,
point.
not at all. No. What?
It's an ejection for having a bit of banter and talking a bit of trash. I mean, this is what they always do. So to be ejected as a coach that early in the game, for words exchanged, that is something that happens all the time. I find it odd. And Chris Paul being thrown out of the game a few games ago, he
Mm.
got ejected.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Well, sometimes they just come and they just not in the right frame of mind, and it's kind of like, man, I don't feel like playing tonight. I'm getting kicked out of this game, and they just start off early and they say, look, I don't even want to be here, and all they have to do is say a few choice words, and they gone. So it depends on how they feeling and if they want to, be part and participate in the game. So it happens, but the refereeing wasn't bad last night. It was pretty good. And I really think that LeBron James played a heck of a game. That's why I don't think it was fixed, because he came in the fourth quarter and he just went off. He put that LA Laker team on his back and said, come on, guys, let's go. And he got it done.
Listen, Ron, I have the receipt somewhere around here. I have to find it, but I got the receipt from the fix last night, so I'll make sure I'll send it to you, Western Union, so you can end up seeing it. But and it's around here in the studio somewhere, Lord knows. But no, to me, it's just a call at the very end. I find it interesting the way the call was made, and I think that's why everybody's saying where the fix came in, because you got to think about it honestly. I mean, I know referees screw up a lot of things, but come on. It was just a little bit on the bizarre side, the way that whole thing came down. And originally, when you looked at it, when the in-season tournament started, because we saw the slow start by LA. I mean, no one can deny that. It started out really slow. Finally, they're starting to get their legs under them. And we're starting to see LA in the, I don't want to say in true LA form fashion, because they're still not there. And Coach Johnson, I'm pretty sure you're agreeing with me here, because it's going to take a little bit still for him to get there. But to not say you're going to have a powerhouse in there, I mean, you already got one in there with the Bucks, and you already got.
Yes.
So if anybody thinks, let me put it this way: if I was a betting man and I had FanDuel or DraftKings, let me think who the two are going to be in the finals. I don't know. Call me nuts. I bet you the Bucks. Oh, and then there's the Lakers. So I'm quite sure they're going to be in there. So, I mean, it's cute. The Pelicans going to show up and the other team's going to show up. That's really nice. We'll appreciate that. But come on. In the very end, we know exactly who's going to end up being there. Or am I wrong, Ron?
Well, I think it's going to be a really good game against the Lakers and the Pelicans. I think they match up very, very well. And this will give Zion an opportunity to show, how he can play against, well, of course, LeBron is up in age, but still, how he's going to play, because Zion hadn't been playing like a guy that really wants to play NBA basketball. I saw him play the other night. He didn't shoot the ball that much. He didn't run up and down the court. I don't even think he sprinted up and down the court a couple of times. He really didn't look like he wanted to be involved in the game, but he still had like 20 points. But the guy that's really holding this team together is Brandon Ingram. He's really playing well. And Jose has really been playing well since he got back in the game. Troy Murphy has hit some really good shots. And that bench has really been looking good. Of course, CJ, who just came back from his lung injury, he played pretty good. So I think that the Lakers are going to be able to win it, but I think they're going to have a tough time. I think that New Orleans is going to be able to match up with them and give them a tough time. But I'm like you. I think the Lakers may squeak it out if Anthony Davis feels like playing and if Austin Reeves continues to be on his hot streak.
Yep, that's true, Coach Johnson.
Well, this is my thing, is that I do want to stop you there, Angel, because I need to talk about my new team, which is
Oh,
in the in-season tournament.
Who is it?
It is the Pacers. I had the chance to watch the Pacers play the Bucks.
Right.
My gosh. No, excuse me. They played the Celtics. I'm sorry. They played the Celtics and they beat the Celtics. And it was a great basketball game. I'm talking about nobody could guard Halliburton. And he started off slow. Going into the third quarter or the fourth quarter, he had 7 points. He finished the game with like 27. I mean, he was killing. Drew Holiday, who I look at as a top guard defender, he's aggressive. He has the size. I mean, he couldn't guard him. There was nothing they could do. And the amount of possessions that the Pacers scored, how fast they get it out, they're looking to go, they're looking to run. They have Buddy Hield over there. They have some really great players, but a player who really stuck out the most to me is TJ McConnell. And I wish that was a point guard we could have with the Lakers right now. I would take him right now. He went 10-for-11 a few games ago. And I'm like, who is this guy? I didn't, only to find out he's playing because Nimrod is injured right now. And I'm like, at this point, McConnell has to be worked into the rotation. I mean, he is, the way that he looks to kick the ball up, has speed I haven't seen in a really long time. He takes really great shots, makes good decisions, and he's really good at penetrating. And that's what that team needs when you have Buddy Hield, who is shooting really good right now. And you just have these guys, and Halliburton just knocking things down. You have Miles Turner over there, who's been playing pretty well. You have Toppin, who has been playing pretty good. So they have a team over there. And so I'm adding them to my list of potential replacements if the Lakers don't get it together.
Yeah, they played really, really well. And Halliburton, who had a triple-double in that game, really came out and played. And like you said, Buddy Hield, he's a tremendous scorer. And I tell you what, Miles Turner, he turned it up in that game. I really like what he did. So really good action, and I was surprised that the Celtics got beat. Really.
I was too. Because they weren't playing bad, though. And that was the thing. The Celtics weren't playing bad. They really just got out hustled, and the Pacers weren't missing.
No, well, if you don't mind, I'm trying to make a quick call to Indiana to let them know to make sure they don't let him go to LA because you guys, y'all don't need anybody else. So I just make sure I get a hold of Indiana afterwards.
I know we got space for him.
I'm quite sure you do. I'm quite sure. Get rid of one particular player who decides to show up whenever he wants, and then maybe we'll end up talking then. But listen, it's just a rivalry thing. For those who don't know, obviously, I'm a Sixers fan. We've played the Celtics, I think, 1,000 times already early in the season. I don't get it. Honestly, I think the last time we played the Celtics early on so much in the season has got to go back to 91, 92. It seems like we're playing the Celtics every other day. Like they'll throw us an LA game here and there. They'll throw us, an Indiana Pacer game here and there. But no, we guys playing tomorrow, Celtics, and then we're going to play them on Saturday and then again on Monday, come again on Wednesday. Maybe it's just the way the schedule came out early on, but all I know is that, we've been playing a lot of Celtics basketball.
Mm-hmm.
And the Celtics, the Sixers have been playing very well, very, very well this season, too.
They have.
Yeah.
They got rid of a bit of dead weight.
Sure did.
Oh, the system. You talking about the system?
Yeah.
Oh,
I didn't have time to learn how to play basketball. I wasn't here to stop it, man. Knock it off. Well, he is.
But Maxey has been performing pretty well though with the 76ers. I will say
Yes.
that these is a huge difference compared to last year in his game. And
Most
then on top of Harden leaving has really opened up some opportunities and doors for him. So
Yeah.
kudos to Maxey.
Yeah, and the one I will say this much: if Joel Embiid, he finally, we heard it year after year after year to trust the process, and that's great. For him to do so. At this point now, you have to show up, and it's early on in the season. We all know this. Everybody starts getting eyeballs, and being truthful, the reason why the in-season tournament happened because we all get excited when the season starts. Right, first week the NBA season starts, but then college basketball comes around. Let's be truthful. When college basketball comes around, what's everybody watching? College basketball until
Yep.
Christmas. And then we go back, we watch the NBA, and then poof, it be gone because then March Madness is right around the corner. After March Madness is done, that's when everybody gets back into the NBA because now we're getting closer to their playoff push and everything else. So with Joel Embiid with the Sixers, this is the time if you really put your mind into it. And as you said, you don't want to be in Miami. You don't want to hear any trade talks. The proof is in the pudding. Let's see what's going to happen this year. Maxey is playing really well. With the keys that you have placed around you at this point, and the Sixers still have a couple more they got to add into the mix. But with what you have, it's either put up or shut up. Because at this point, Sixers fans, Joel, and you know this, it's great you won MVP. That's what you were aiming for. Now it's time to shine. Step out of the light. Let somebody else come into it because it's getting frustrating in Philadelphia where we got rid of one dead weight. In LA, you're welcome. We don't ever want him back. And then he came out with his story. Supposedly the truth was that it was supposed to be his max money. Now, let's think about this. You're 36 years old. You don't show up during the playoffs. Yet, you mean to tell me if you would have gotten max money, that's what it convinced me as a fan, as a broadcaster to say, oh my God, look, he's here. No, come on, stop playing, bro. Stop. You're not going to convince me that with the max money, you're going to change who you are, the system, as Ron said earlier, because that's what he called himself. So am I nuts, Coach Mac? Because you would have gotten max money, all of a sudden the light would have turned on. You'd be like, look, I'm here.
I don't think so. I don't think so. Hey, let me go back before we start on the Sixers. Let's go back and see and talk about the Milwaukee Bucks because they're the last team that we didn't talk about in the in season tournament to get an idea because Dame Leonard, as you know, got traded to them from Portland and he's been playing out of his mind basketball and Middleton has been playing well. What do you guys give me your opinion on them playing and being in that championship game because they beat the New York Knicks like stepkids the other night on the court. I mean, 140 something points.
Mm.
Uh, they put on the Knicks.
yeah.
I just want to hear you, Coach Johnson. What's your opinion about that game?
The Bucks, I did watch that game. The thing about the Bucks is I feel like them losing Chris Middleton last year played a huge part in them not getting as far as they wanted to in the playoffs and being able to advance. Chris Middleton plays a huge role for them. He is the Bucks version of KD. I mean, he
Hmm.
does a little bit of everything similar to KD. He has the size, can put the ball on the floor. He's a well-rounded player. The only thing is, and yes, Dame is playing great basketball, but from a bigger picture, is did Dame really change that team's chances and their probability of getting further in playoffs? That is just the part that I don't know if picking up Dame necessarily made that okay, now we are really a championship team. Or you know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like that
Mhm.
we have solidified that by picking up Dame, that we know we're going to advance, into the Eastern Conference Finals. I just don't feel like that adding him gave them that extra push that I think that they were looking for.
Mhm. Yeah, I agree with you on that, T, because I feel like there's still a piece missing with them. Middleton would have been a great addition at that moment. But again, they're still that piece. They have Dame, and Dame gives them at least from the backcourt perspective, but it's like you're still missing the front court in a sense. So I don't know. I don't know how what they're gonna do, especially since they have Giannis and Dame. If it's something that they may consider adding, and we're talking about money at this point. So that's a big question. That's a huge question, but it's definitely something that should be brought up in terms of if this is something that they want to make it to, if they want to be this championship team.
Mhm.
Well, I think Giannis and Dame are playing the 1 and 2 pick and roll and everything real good. They both scored 30 points the other night. And in my opinion, I think they're right where they need to be. And they're making a run to say they are a contender to be in the playoffs right now from their record and the way they're playing, barring injuries, you know,
Mhm.
moving forward. But they're really are looking really good. And I want to see what they're going to do in this Final Four of the in-season tournament. And like Angel said, it's probably going to come down to the Bucks and the Lakers. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll see.
The Lakers
That
gonna be in
five
there some
hundred,
kind of way, huh?
yeah, that $500,000, boy. That's a nice little prize right there.
Did y'all know
Listen,
Giannis didn't even know they were getting paid? Like he just found this out a couple of days ago that
Oh,
they were
come
playing for
on. He
money.
didn't know.
It's surprise
It was
money.
an interview. Yeah, he was like, "We're playing for money." Literally after a game, we're playing for money. Yes.
He's got so
come
What do you
on.
much
think this
money,
is
he
about?
probably doesn't make a difference to him. He's got all that money.
Yeah, right.
Oh
When you
man.
have so much money, you're not worried about it.
Yeah, we're playing for money. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
just it. Well, you look at what was LeBron 2 years ago, maybe like I think it was like year after COVID. It might have been even the year before COVID, where he went to one of the islands, and the place he was staying at was $20,000 a night. Number one, and then it was like a whole entourage that went with him. I believe it was at least 40, if not 50 folks that were with him. His family plus extras. I forgot how many the meals were. Basically, by the time it was all said and done, it was close to, I think, with either $200,000 or $300,000 that was all spent. Now, 500,000, I guess. Like to me, you tell me that you're gonna give me $200,000, you got to take out somebody to dinner. Listen, no offense, White Castle, McDonald's, Wendy's. I'm just saying, because somehow or another, I'm making sure I'm keeping that money in my pocket. But LeBron, he's well invested. We all know this. I mean, he's a very smart guy, very smart individual, and his money is working for him. So he knows he's got nothing to worry about, unless he just he gets a portfolio investor and manager who turns around and takes all of his money. Is a whole different story. But he's been in the game for the longest. I mean, he's going to be well taken care of after he walks away from the game. Still from sponsors. I mean, multi deals are going to happen after he's done. But it just, to me, I'm like, man, how is it? It must be nice to be somewhere like, where y'all want to go? We saw this place, and it's I don't know, about 15,000. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
right. If you look at me, you tell me, oh, okay. What? Oh, I'm sorry. There's another place right around the corner from it. It's like 50,000 a night. How about we go there? Because it's crazy to think about the money they can spend. So for Giannis to say that he didn't know that it was going to be $500,000, come on, man.
He didn't know they was getting paid at all.
Yeah,
Like period.
That's crazy.
that
That's
is.
That's
worse.
crazy. Yeah, that's crazy.
It is.
That is crazy.
But even though it'll be a semi-condensed show for tonight, next week we'll be back on it. And then, God, is Christmas right around the corner? We're like 2 weeks
Yes.
away?
Yes.
It's crazy.
Christmas is on a Monday.
Yeah.
I know, which is it's nuts, and either we'll be here or we might end up taking a Christmas break. I don't know. All I know is that I just one day just rolls right into the next and rolls into the next and so on and so forth. But the big part of tonight's show is because LSU. Listen. I don't know, and I mentioned it to the group the other day where I know that Angel Reese came out with a 700 shirt, I believe, if I remember correctly.
Right.
I know I had a couple of watermarks on there. But did Kim jump into the shower prior to the press conference? What was that all about?
Well, she had just received her 700 win, and it looked like they did that Gatorade thing, to celebrate her 700 win that night.
Yeah.
So that's what it was, and that's probably why you saw the water spilled on Angel.
Listen,
Oh, I
and,
thought she got out the shower.
right.
No, no, no. They did the Gatorade thing. You know how they do that with the coaches.
No, I got it. But when you see the video, my thing is because when listen, most coaches, right, whether male, female, whatever case may be, if you're wearing a suit, usually what happens? The men come out there, they got that one button on, and then when they sit down, they usually unbutton it because you sit there. If not, you're gonna be all tight. So vice versa, because Kim came out there and listen, I'm not, you can wear whatever you want, don't get me wrong, but it's the first time I've seen her without exposing herself. But I was like, wait a minute, when was all this happening? And then she buttons up the jacket when she's in the middle of the press conference. Because usually, again, most coaches, they got everything buttoned up. I understand you just got your shower, from your 700 win, but normally it's all buttoned up. You're ready to go. Ask the questions. And then basically when she came out and she was like, it ain't about me. Well, it kind of somewhat is about you, but it was just the attitude, the way it came. Listen, I'm going to roll the tape just so y'all can see. Because there's people probably looking like, why is he looking that way? It's not about looking that way. My thing was, I just found it peculiar the way things end up happening and the way she ended up talking about stuff. But let me, nope, I don't want to share that one.
Let's take a look at it, man. See what's going on.
Yeah, no, we're going to go to the tape here as soon as I bring him back up here because it decided to go away instead of playing. So
As my buddy say, let's find some answers.
and that's exactly what we're going to end up doing because that was something. Let's see. This is the audio. Hopefully this is it right here because it was earlier today. Ay, Dios mío. Downloads. I will find it. It is. Oh, you know why? I know why. Because it was on the other one. All right, let me talk some okay. Let me explain something before we move on to the other thing. Because some of the audio levels won't come out low, I have to switch from one terminal to the next one. And I had everything loaded up on the other terminal, but if I'm on the other terminal, everything sounds low. So now I have to find that, transfer it over. Boy, I'm telling you, I love what I do. I swear to you.
You sound like my brother when we was little. He would tell me like I got to do this and I got to do that. That was okay.
It's crazy. And mostly because it's again, if I would have done everything from the normal terminal, then I wouldn't have to worry about this. But now I have to upload what I already had ready. But it's okay. It's what happens.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's fun stuff. Let's see. So here we go. Go here. Let's load this up here and then transfer over there, and then we'll have everything working. So as it loads up, we thank those for listening over on Sports Radio 102.9 FM The Game. By the way, the station, you guys, is not completely done yet. Hopefully this weekend, as things have gone now bouncing Martinez and company over to this side of the house, hopefully things will even out. So I have the opportunity to get everything loaded up because over on the sports radio side, and normally it doesn't work that way, but you will be able to hear music now on the sports radio app. So the neat thing will be, as one show goes away, there may be an hour of rap, there might be an hour of hip hop, there might be an hour of Motown, there may be an hour of dance music. There's going to be different things going on. And on the weekend, there might be a dance party. Ron might be the DJ. I'm just saying,
I can do it.
Okay.
I have DJ skills.
All right. See, let that be on record. I want everybody to know that Ron said he could be the DJ for the weekend.
Oh, yeah, I can do the what you want, man. I mean, we
DJ
start off
Rizzy.
in California tonight, which is one of my favorites, so I'll make it go. I can get that Tupac going on you, bro.
Okay. All right. Okay. Just listen. And
Ron, you from New Orleans. You can't do that. You gotta come
Yeah,
on
but
with some Cash Money records
I'll
and
bring it.
stuff. Come on now. We're trying to do
I'll bring a
Cash
little
Money.
jazz.
You
I'll bring a
gotta
little
you gotta do
jazz. I'll
Cash
bring a little
Money.
Zydeco in there. I'll mix it up. You know,
We
I'll
gotta get
make
some
it. I
Lil
put
Wayne going on up in
Yeah,
there,
yeah,
we'll
Ron.
have Lil
yeah.
Wayne. Like
He
I
need
said,
the
we're gonna
hot
get
boys, Coach Matt.
Hey,
we're gonna need the hot
Cash
boys,
Money,
huh?
Hot Boys. Look, we ain't even bring in Juvenile. How y'all
Yeah.
mix it?
He
I just
ain't
bring
ready for
everything to
that.
the
He
house.
ain't ready for it. He ain't ready for it, girls. He ain't
We
ready
gotta we
for
gotta
it.
rep our South, Ron.
Yeah, well,
Right.
he ain't ready for it. We're gonna bring it down. And when we come
Okay.
down, don't say nothing. Don't say nothing, Asia.
I hear a lot. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
No,
I'm
no,
gonna
no,
wait.
no, no, no. This is dirty South down here now.
Yeah.
We be
That's right, Ron.
bringing
Let
it,
them know.
man.
Let them know.
That's right. He
I hear
don't
it.
know nothing. He don't know nothing about the dirty South, man. As they say.
Okay. I hear it. Don't worry. As soon as I get that call, hey Ron, you ready? I think I stubbed my toe when
No,
I was
no, no,
watching
no,
the
no,
Final
no, no, no,
Four.
no, 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 no. Look, you call me. I say I'm a DJ. I'm a DJ.
All right.
Okay.
I'll be
Okay.
tuned in.
Yeah,
I
tune in.
will too, because
Everybody
I want to
tune
see
in. You
this.
know. Yeah.
All right. Let's see if
I
I
don't have
can.
skills like you, but I got a little skills.
Okay, we'll see. Let's see if I can get this to download. Ah, this is always fun.
Oh yeah. Well, I do have a side note question while we wait for that.
Sure.
Is I wanted to know what you guys all thought about what Kevin Garnett had to say about Jordan Poole. And if you didn't get to see the clip, just to refresh, and maybe our viewers who did not get to see the clip,
I
but
did not see it.
basically, Kevin Garnett said that Jordan Poole should not be in the NBA.
Yep,
Wow.
sure
He went
did.
that far. He went that far. He does not. He feels like his behavior, his attitude towards, him being sent down to NBA Siberia, aka the Wizards. Um,
Keep
That's a
going,
good one.
girl. Keep going. That was a good
I like that one.
one.
So, him going down there and just really showing a lot of immaturity with his attitude and just like even his attitude in huddles and towards the coaches.
Mhm.
And, Kevin Garnett was very expressive about how he felt Jordan Poole was trash in that regard
Wow.
and that he should
Yep.
not be in the league. And really quick, I just want to say about it that I have to agree with part of it because I did think that I was one of the ones defending hard Jordan Poole being traded down there from the Warriors. I feel like the Warriors should not have maybe made such a hasty decision to trade him for a Chris Paul who's on his way out the league for
Hmm.
a young guy who has so much upside in the league. I really was defending him hard on that. And I do have to agree with KG. Like, I am a bit disappointed. You went down there. Yes, you're a young guy, but like KG said, your leadership is the ring that you got, and that you need to come with that same mentality, attitude, and everything that got you that ring there. Bring that here into this culture and really, make this be your team. And instead, you have acted the complete opposite way. So I just want to see what you guys all thought about what KG had to say about that.
I mean, it doesn't help to see the clips of him, not being a part of huddle, talking, laughing, all the above. And then it's like it's a complete opposite behavior from the Warriors and now the Clippers. It's almost like you got a kid on the bench. So
Hmm.
what are you doing? Like, be professional. And I understand what KG is saying on that part, but to say he shouldn't be in the league is a little bit of a stretch. I mean, kid got bad game. Let's be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
But the behavior I understand is, you should be a lot more professional considering the level that you are at. So
Mm-hmm.
it was interesting to hear KG to go to that far.
Yeah.
Um, very expressive, as you stated, but it is what it is.
Oh, we're
Well, I
gonna.
know KG, and I heard him, say some things about people, and I know just how he is when he comes out and how he says it, and he's right. if the guy is acting like he's a juvenile and he doesn't want to be there, and he's like you say, he has a ring, he should show more professionalism and more pride in to be a leader and an influencer for that team. So KG carries a lot of weight,
Yeah.
even though he's not in the NBA anymore because of what he's done. And I mean, here's a guy that went straight from out of high school to the NBA and became he's one of the top 50 NBA players, and he worked his butt off every day. So he knows what he's talking about. He's very mature, for his age. So, yeah,
Yep.
Jordan Poole, get it together, man. And like you said, Coach Mike, I think it's a little stretch as far as talking about the guy shouldn't be in the NBA. He should be in the NBA. He's just upset uh, about going
Hmm.
to Siberia and and playing for that team, as Coach T would say.
It is Siberia. I mean, I've always viewed the Wizards as NBA Siberia. It's
That's a good one. I never heard that one. By the way, Miss Davis wants to know because she logged in late who you guys exactly were talking about.
hey, mom, we're talking about Jordan Poole.
So
And your
now,
daughter Paul brought it up.
sure did. I gotta remember that. That's a good one. I've never, man. See, I learned a lot of stuff here on the Talking Hoop Show. Siberia. I gotta write that down. Bring that up
Write
next
that
time.
down, bro.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. So we're gonna see here if the video ends up playing out. Hopefully, it won't lag or anything else. So we can, because we're gonna dissect this because this was interesting. Let's see if this plays. Hopefully, it does.
I need some more. How happy y'all to see me? I know y'all are. Here we go. Let's have some fun here.
See it? It's already refreezing. Can you
Here we
guys see
go.
it?
Let's have some fun here.
Yep, it kind of froze. I don't know why. This is the things that happen when you go live, as I always say. See if I unpause it again, see what happens. Hang on. Either that or it might still be loading. It should enough, though, because I already said it loaded. So let's.
Here we go. Let's have some fun here.
It's going to keep. Oh, yeah. This is where it makes a monkey out of me.
We'll open up the floor for questions. We'll start with the players.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then
Let's see. Because it was done uploading, so hopefully, if not,
we'll get a
wonder if I just refresh everything, maybe it'll work. If I go away, talk amongst yourselves. But I'm gonna refresh and see if it'll make it a little bit better. Hang
Okay.
on.
Well,
I don't have an opening statement.
what I want to talk about, this
This
PJ
Angel,
Tucker
you're gone for 4
came
games.
up.
What did you see in this team when you were gone? You
What
watched
is
it
that
tonight
all
when you got on the
about?
floor
What
with him.
is
Like,
that all? I mean,
wow,
he's
they've
been
grown
in
up
the
a lot in
league
4 games.
years.
Yeah, they can obviously play
And the
without
thing
me.
about PJ
Just
is,
coming back and
he
doing
played at
whatever it takes
University
to
of
win, and I
Texas.
did as much as I could
He
today.
and
We have a
Kevin
lot of leadership
Durant were
with outside of
teammates for a
me,
little
and
while
seeing this
before
team
Kevin,
grow from when I wasn't
who
here
was a
really shows a
sophomore,
lot, and I'm
PJ
really
was a
happy for this
freshman,
team and where we're at right now.
left and went to the NBA. But what's
Angel,
going
last
on?
year at the
Fill
Final
me in
Four, I
on this
remember you
PJ
saying
Tucker, just
you need a
because he
Kim
averages
Mulkey in your life.
6.7
Do you still
points a
feel that
game
way
and
today? And
probably
why or why not?
I'm gonna say that
7.7
today,
rebounds
tomorrow,
a
next
game.
year, to the day I
Go
die, and
ahead,
that's just
Coach
how I
Mack.
feel.
You
And
can
So
lead.
I'm an
yeah,
LSU
I
because of
had
Kim
to pull it
Mulkey,
up.
and that's
So
how I feel.
what was stated in the last 9 games? 9, not 2, not 3, but 9. 0 points. 3 of the games he didn't play.
Hi, sorry.
But
Angel,
as far as the
how did it
minutes being
feel to be
played,
back on the
like
floor?
6, 8,
It felt great.
22,
I
13,
mean,
16,
it
15.
was a
So you mean
long
to tell
2
me you
weeks
couldn't
or a
get
week
not
and a
one
half,
bucket
2
out of
weeks
there? Not even a
to
free
be away
throw?
from the team.
And you're a pro.
Taking time to
I mean, you're a
yourself is
pro.
really important. I
Like,
feel like that's just something
you
that
know
was
what?
important, and
I can
resetting and
say there's hope
refocusing within the
for
team. I'm
people
just
that
happy
don't
to be back,
score.
and
Maybe you
Yeah.
can still get to
this
the
place was
NBA.
amazing tonight, and I'm just happy to be here
You know,
with them.
Coach Mack, if we look at it on a deeper level,
One more.
how many
You
times
said
did
you've had a lot of time to
Dennis
yourself.
Rodman have
What have you
0
learned about
points
yourself
and
in
40
you were away?
rebounds? Or, you know, like, I mean,
Not what I learned about myself. I want people to
this
realize
new
that
What?
age basketball
I'm not just
has
a
created an environment where we expect all 5 players to be able to score and put the ball in the hole. And I
Very
think
true.
that has been the new transition that basketball has gone into. But it's only so many cooks that could be in the kitchen, and I never would even expect a team to say, "Hey, we need PJ to give us 10 and 10." Nobody is paying PJ Tucker to come put the ball in the basket. I don't think that's why they go after PJ Tucker. PJ Tucker is one of those players on your roster that every team needs a player like that who doesn't care if they don't score. They're still going to go dive on the floor for loose balls. They're still going to go try and get tips. They're going to put the extra effort in to get back on defense and, any loose balls, things that just don't always show up on the stat sheet. I think
Hmm.
PJ Tucker does that and he brings the energy. And like, look at his role when he was with the Bucks.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
You weren't expecting PJ to get a bucket.
Mm-mm.
You weren't saying, dang, when PJ gonna score? You it's like, and I just think, but to not have any points in 9 games lets me know he's just
Nine.
getting cardio and doing up and downs at this point.
It's funny that you said cardio because on one of the like stat sheets it had hashtag cardio under, under PJ's name.
Well,
I was
PJ
like,
is the
oh
type of
wow.
guy. He's the type of guy that's a defensive player, like you said. He's a
Mhm.
rebounder. He's a scrapper. And people may not know, but he's won an NBA championship.
Mhm.
And here's a guy that I wish more guys were like on the defensive end because I called the NBA the no defensive playing league because all they do is run up and down the court. You get a rebound, you turn
Yeah.
around, you throw it to the guy. It's not like you go down and you set up a play and guys play defense. You just kind of the play starts when you get the ball at mid court in transaction and just run down the court and you try to score. Either pull up at the 3-point line to shoot a three or to fake it and to get around a guy and go all the way to the basket. And maybe every once in a while you may pull up and hit a mid-range jump shot. But other than that, it's just up and down, up and down. I was like, they don't even play defense. But when
Mm-mm.
you get a guy like PJ who does, and he's not thinking about the points, and he's been in the league for 13 years, something he's been doing something right for
Correct.
him to be there. But he's been on a bunch of teams too, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
um, to do that. He's with the Clippers now, and
Hmm.
I
Not
don't know if
only
he's.
that, that's a
Go
great
ahead.
point, Ron. Him being with the Clippers, where they're already having to share the basketball between four ball hogs. I mean, good luck. Coach Mack, he'll probably be doing cardio for the rest of the season. He's with the Clippers.
He'll definitely be in shape.
Yeah, he'll be in shape.
He's definitely in shape. And the thing about the Clippers I like now is that Russell Westbrook has decided to come off the bench
Ooh, he better
and
than
play
me.
with the second string starters. Oh, we got some action going on here now.
Yep, yep. Don't be like that, Coach Mack. I heard that, but go ahead. Aaron.
Better than
Now
me.
we're gonna
What you
see.
say?
I say
No,
Russ is better than me.
All right, we're gonna see if this actually works this time around. So here is the beginning all over again. Let's see if it works.
How happy y'all to see me? I know y'all are. Here we go.
And it was, boy, I tell you what. I love the things that I do because when I want it to work, it doesn't want to work. Son of a gun.
But I do have a question. Like, why the attitudes when they're being interviewed? It's
Yeah.
it's like the oh, I'm here, I guess, this whatever attitude. Man, like, can we get you to present yourself a little bit more
Let's have some
professional?
fun
I mean,
here.
I know you don't want to do it.
I have to agree, Coach Mack. It's a part of the job, and everybody knows this. From
Exactly.
players to coaches, from college all the way through the league. I don't understand it. It's a part of the
Well,
job.
a lot of them are
Yeah.
still immature and they still growing. These they haven't got to that maturity part to where they see it. And they having
But
fun.
even Kim is that way. Kim is that way. And like
Yeah, yeah,
she's probably the
yeah,
worst out of all.
Yeah,
yeah.
her attitude during that interview was crazy.
Yeah.
Yes.
I wanted to play. Hopefully, maybe the next time we get back on, well, because believe me, it's not going to go away anytime soon. But hopefully, the next time I'll bring it up. I can hear my poor laptop struggling, saying, "Dude, seriously."
It's just screaming, saying, "Stop! Hey, just stop!"
Pretty much. I've worked this thing so much in between the last 2 or 3 weeks doing tests and God knows whatever else. It's probably like I just want to go to bed. All right. So and you guys know, as I send you the pictures, there's multiple things that go on here in the studio, and when I switch things around, it likes to scream at me every once in a while. I know it's one of those things, but no, it was. What killed me in the very beginning, as I talked about it, was when Kim came out there. First of all, trying, doing this, adjusting this.
Yeah.
Like, come on, you're a coach. I understand. Again, you won, great. Fix yourself up before you come on the stage. Because to me, it was almost like, as she said in her words, it ain't about me. I don't have an opening statement. Why?
Why?
You're the first one that they're gonna go to, and then when they asked. And to me, listen, everybody was just throwing softball questions. Here you go. Here's another one. Here you go. No one asked a tough question. And then like Angel came out there and she basically said that, in the very beginning was that everybody did well without me being there. What did you guys expect for Angel Reese to say? Let's be real.
The questions, I was baffled. I'm like, are we gonna just fluff around? Like, did somebody instruct them not to ask certain questions?
Probably did. They probably did.
That
They did.
was my next thought.
Because there was nothing there. It's like, to me, it's one of those, if you're going to really ask a question, ask the question. I'm pretty sure if Angel Reese is honest the way she's been, and we saw it last year during the postseason, if you ask her a tough question, she's going to come out and say it. Now, I would give the $1 from the $500,000 from the in-season tournament to have been in that locker room to really find out what exactly went on, because that still has not been. And I think that's why Kim came out there again. I don't have an opening statement. Let me do all this distraction and everything else, because you guys are not going to get the answer you're looking for. I don't know what goes on inside. Okay, male locker rooms, yes, I do know what goes on. Women locker rooms, of course not, because you're not gonna have a man go in there saying, "Are they getting changed?" Oh, okay. A woman could walk into the men's locker room, whether the men are getting changed or not, because guess what? You're one of the guys now, whether you like it or not. You're one of the guys. But a man is not going to go in there. And I can put an A at the end of Angel, become Angel. They're still going to be like, no. You're still not going to go in. Wait until the women are done, and then you can go in. So I would love to have been a fly on the wall to actually find out exactly what goes on, because something tells me there is something just a bit deeper that went on inside that locker room for everyone to come out there. And who was the girl that was to the left of Kim?
Anissa.
Yeah, Anissa.
Listen, is she the team bodyguard? That's all I want to know. Because she came out like, what y'all going to ask me? Like, hold on. All right,
Now,
let me step back.
To her defense, Angel, there was a lot of talk because she really performed last year at DePaul.
Right.
But it was like, well, that was at DePaul. You played at DePaul. Well, you did that at DePaul. So for her, she transferred to LSU because she wanted to play against the best and play with the best. And for her to be able to perform on that level after there was so much speculation that she couldn't, because she was at a mid-major, a mid-major school in a mid-major league, I think that was why she came out there with a chip on her shoulder. And I picked up on it immediately, but I think a lot of that has to do with a lot of the talk that was going on, that she wasn't good enough to be able to play.
Yeah.
Right. See, it makes sense now, because again, when she first came out, that's why I was just wondering. See, these are why Coach and Coach, brought to you by, let's see, Gillette. Who else can we throw in there? FanDuel, DraftKings, Dunkin' Donuts. Listen, I'm just throwing stuff out there because this is why Ron and I know it. We learn a lot from Coach and Coach. Again, see, hold on for a second. So, talk about, no, you know what? I'm going to leave the women's locker room alone. I know Coach and Coach probably have seen things, have heard things. I'm just going to leave. I'm going to leave well enough said. You guys just envision in your mind what goes on inside of a women's locker room. And I'm not saying anything bad, so I don't want anybody to come out and be like, oh my God, he's disgusting. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm just saying, because listen, in the men's locker room, everybody knows it. In a bad game, the men, y'all, listen, we know, we go toe to toe. We'll bring it. If you did something that you know that you could have won the game and you decide like, nah, bro, it wasn't on me, it was on him, it's going to go at it. In the locker room, you're going to go at it. I'm just saying. To me, there's something more that went on that we were not privy to. But during that press conference, to me, I would have gave that thing an F minus because there was a lot of deflection and again, just softballs being thrown through the entire interview. And to me, I didn't like the way Kim came out. If you're really starting to come out kind of cocky and
Mm-hmm.
starting to feel like, listen, I'm untouchable. No offense, everybody is touchable. Again, folks, let me explain. This is a new society. I'm not talking about this. I'm talking about that we're going to expose you for who the person that you are. Just like the Eagles got exposed this past Sunday, it's going to be the same way. LSU to me is going to come under fire because I don't like the way the attitudes are kind of coming out. And again,
But
Angel
Angel,
Reese is
can
your
I?
superstar.
Angel,
Right?
let me say this. Let me say this. I saw some video that Kim put up at her press conference, and she sat down and she talked about, Angel, as far as a lot of questions that she said that she wasn't going to answer from the reporters. She finally answered some questions. And one of them was like, yeah, she practiced with us. When I told you I wasn't going to answer that question, but she practiced with us the whole time. Her attitude was really good. She got in, she worked hard, she did what I needed her to do. And that was before the game, okay? And that was the press conference. That was the day before the game because they played on last Thursday, if I'm not mistaken. And she did answer a lot of questions. So she kind of like put everything to kind of to rest uh, before the people at the press conference asked her after the game. So everybody kind of got those answers out of the way, and that's why the press conference went the way it did by not being like asking tougher questions to Angel. And Angel was like, "Oh, y'all here to see me? I know y'all here to see me." You know how she's, playing around and having
Right.
fun and stuff like that. And that's why they asked her those type of questions. And really, her and Kim after the win, Kim and her hugged each other to say congratulations. I'm so happy to be back. And then that's after that. That's when they, threw the Gatorade on Kim and her and things like that. And then that's when they went in the locker room. And that's just the way the questions what you know, were brought to them. But I don't know. It looks like they have a one happy family now. Everything's going well. They play again on the 10th. And so we're just gonna see how things are gonna go. It looks like they got everything solved to me. Like Kim came out and said, "Angels back. We're happy. Angels back, and we're gonna go from here." So it looks like they put that all behind them.
Well,
Okay.
still, even considering that, even though the interview was done prior to basically the tougher questions, you should still present yourself in a way whenever you come out to the press conference because
Oh
you
yeah, yeah,
know
yeah, yeah,
this
yeah.
is what you're
That's
coming
true.
for. And so for Kim to come out the way that she did, even during this press conference, is like, come on now, like you could have
Yeah,
had a better
um,
attitude than this.
yeah,
So I mean, but honestly, I think that's just the attitude of the team. Even when you watch them play, it's still the attitude of the team. They were like this last year. They're and I mean, hey, you should be competitive, but there's a fine line between being confident and cocky. And
Mm-hmm.
so, they really, really, really push that cocky line more so than being confident.
Right.
And that's
right,
that's the
right.
issue that I have whenever I'm watching them and they're talking and people want to ask questions and stuff like that. You know it's coming. So like why even act this way?
And I agree with you about that. They are arrogant, cocky. They got a little chip on their shoulder. Sometimes, and and Kim is the leader of the pack.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now,
But
be,
one thing I can say is that I'm proud of the way that LSU performed, even without Angel. I
Hmm.
think honestly that may have been an awakening for Angel in a sense. Is notice how her attitude is a little bit different when it comes to playing on the floor. But LSU was doing really, really
I listen. That thing has been working out for the last 2 weeks. It's been working out. Well,
You just
okay.
trying to
So the
tell
other
us that we need to get off?
no, no, well, the funny thing is too is that when Chrome doesn't update, I hate when Chrome doesn't update because when it does,
Oh.
it
Yeah.
messes with other settings. And the last 3 Chrome updates has been creating havoc, and it's been driving me bananas because that's what Chrome does. And unfortunately, with the platform that I use, that's what it recommends. And with what we use over on Martinez and Company, it's what it recommends. And I recommend that Google get your act together because this is what happens. It drives me bananas.
It
Because I
just
really
moved
wanted to
you.
dissect it. But Coach Mac, to get back to your point, that's what I wanted to hear was the whole thing. It's that cockiness. There's
Yeah.
confidence and cockiness, and you hit it right on the head because again, when that to me that pressure was more like, wait, what? This is not the team that everybody's falling in love with. That's a whole different thing. So this is the perfect segue into what we know and love as the coach and coach segment because I want at least the 2-minute drill from coach and coach to come down because I would actually like to get the super take. So take it away, coach and coach.
Go ahead, Coach Mac.
So are we still on the LSU or are we on a different topic now? So my feelings, obviously, I want to talk about UConn in the
Yeah,
Texas game.
please, let's talk about your team. They
Let
just set
me
it. They just set a new
let me
record.
Yes, they did. They're down to number 17. And University of Texas, it's probably going to be my new team since we want to talk about new teams. They're what, 8 and 0? Yeah, 8 and 0 or 9 and 0 right now. And they beat UConn. First time ever they
Hmm.
beat UConn. And there's definitely a freshman that I want to give a shout out to. She is from my home state, Madison Booker. She played a phenomenal game this past Sunday against UConn. I mean, UConn practically didn't have an answer for her. So kudos to Madison Booker. Keep it up, girl. Shout out to the freshmen. Shout out to the SIP. I love y'all. But UConn, I need to send a text message to Gino and ask him like, what is our plan? What we doing? Because right now you looking real retirement ish. If we're gonna make a word.
Now, Coach Mack, I do have a question for you though, and I know you're a heavy UConn supporter and follower, but would you say that it's just the competition has now become more spread, and is this
Hmm.
now a side effect of the portal and the new
Yep.
transfer rules and the new system of college basketball? Would you say that that plays any factor into in the fact that this is their lowest ranking in 30 years?
Yes, I think so. I think the transfer portal plays a huge, huge role on the men and women's side too. And it's starting to look like everything is being balanced because you have so many unranked teams beating ranked teams, which
Yes.
is like mind blowing. On top of your freshmen that are coming in, they're not your typical freshmen. So it's like, they're not having to step their game up. They did step their game up because of the transfer portal, the noise that it was making about freshmen not being recruited because of, they get to pick and choose other experienced players from other colleges. Now, you got Juju at USC, and then we're gonna look on Kentucky side, the men program. I mean, you can really just about pick almost any team and find literally one freshman that's out there killing it. So I'm loving what I'm seeing. I'm loving the competition that it's bringing. I'm even loving seeing unranked teams beat ranked teams.
Yes.
And so this is literally like an awakening for a lot of the programs now.
It is, and just to piggyback off of that, I think that what it does is it allows players who are on and who have been on some of these benches for big time
Mhm.
schools, right? That they don't get any burn. Their shoes look
Yep.
the same way from the start of season till the end of season.
Yep.
Their shoes have no miles on them. But
Yes.
now that doesn't mean that they're not great players still though. But they get to
Mhm.
transfer and go be a big fish in a smaller pond. And so now you have these schools where you're like, I didn't even know they were D1, or I didn't even know of this school beating ranked teams. And that's
Yep.
because you have players who left your UConns and left your Kentucky
Yes.
and Texas, and they left these schools where they've been riding the bench, and now they get to go be the man. And like my mom said I see the NIL. if a school is maybe smaller, but I say, hey, you're sitting over there on the bench, you come over here, you could be the star player. I can guarantee you at least 50,000 in sponsorships a year,
Yep.
with you coming here. And they go and it's more enticing to want to transfer and leave and explore other options. And another factor as well, Coach Mack, that I want to add is the current college players right now, we're still in that COVID area where so many players
Mhm.
got extra year and another extra year, and they already were a red shirt. So a lot of these players right now are old college players. These are not,
Yeah.
I'm like, I've
Yes.
seen a roster. There was a player who he was like 25, and I'm like, well, how is he? You know, you should be.
Yeah.
You got bills somewhere at this point, right? But
Or or that guy that has been in college for 8 years. Have you guys seen that article?
but that is a
Yes.
really
So
interesting
eight
story.
years, and he still has eligibility.
Yeah.
Yes.
How? Like, first off, why? I mean, let's just ask that question. Why would you even want to at this point? But I mean, hey, you trying to get your
There's
game and
some
stuff
people that
going.
want to be in college and at 28.
I mean,
And some people are called doctors.
I would go back to
hello.
college right now. Okay. Somebody want to take this mortgage? I will go right back to college right
As Miss
But
Davis says, yes.
here's a question that I would like to pose, and I'm just thinking, like, what pressure does this put on coaches now
now.
that you have players that are transferring, and obviously you only have what, a year or two to just really have a winning program before you get replaced. So just seeing like a lot of these kids going to these other mid-major schools, again, unranked teams beating ranked teams, what type of pressure is this putting on the ranked team programs if they're not winning against these unranked teams?
Lots of pressure. I mean,
Sure is.
as a coach, your whole coaching style now, the same way that the players have had to adjust, coaches are having to adjust.
Yes.
What worked 10 years ago and your coaching style and how you like to get a player and build and develop and all, you
Mhm.
don't have that same type of time anymore.
Mhm.
It's like it's almost like a song, right? When you listen to the first 30 seconds of a song, if it's not giving you what
Popping.
it needs to, yeah, you hit next, and so it's kind of like that. We kind of have this microwave style of college basketball because if I'm a player
Yeah.
now, if you're as a coach telling me, oh, I need time and I need to develop and I have X, Y, and Z I need to work on, but this coach over here is saying I can come play 30 minutes right now.
Mm.
Well, I might not hear you about my development, even though it is truly what I need and what would be
Mhm.
beneficial. I'm like, hey, he said I can go play 30 minutes right now. So what can you do for me?
Mm.
So coaches are now having to work in a Kentucky style, as we know, because they're used to one and done, one and done, one and done, new rosters, one and done. But
Yep.
all the coaches are not used to that. And
Yep.
what that looks like now as you as a coach and how do you put together your recruiting plan? I mean,
Mhm.
it's so much that would have to adjust with the portal now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Recruiting.
agree. I agree. We're in a new phase. We're in a new area as far as freshmen coming in right away, unless they're really, really good, 5-star freshmen that can play right away and have the body, the skill,
Mhm.
the development, and the talent to come in and play right away. Uh, Junior colleges are getting looked at a whole lot today
Yes.
because they have
Yes.
players that have experienced 2 and 3 years up under their belt. Plus, when you go get a player out of the portal, it's a guy that's already has experience, and he's been a guy that's played 2 or 3 years under somebody else's system. And all he needs, like you said, Coach T, is to come out and say, all they need me is 1 year, you know, and I can go in and start at quarterback, or I can go in and start at the top center or top point guard. They just need me for 1 year. And you have that experience. And that's what it's all about. It's about having experience, being mature, and being out there to be a winner. So that way you don't have to work about developing a player for 2 years. And then by the time they become a junior, they're ready to play and then
Hmm.
go out the door when they're seniors. So the transfer portal has set up a presidency to be able to change the culture not only of coaching but of playing. And you're right, it's a microwave system. It's fast turnover. Get them in, get them out. Either win, lose, or give the sign of the cross to the coaches and the players that don't make it.
Oh boy. Well, listen, it's been an adventurous night. See, that's the crazy part. Even though it went by quick, and I apologize to everybody who last week who haven't been out there. We've been working out kinks, and as we've been talking about it, when I had the coaching coach segment, there's been messages that have been coming in with stuff that hasn't been working right on the other side. So it's again pulling the little hairs I got left to get things going. But thanks to everybody who tuned in tonight. And Coach is always great. See, all it takes is that little switch, and they just go off. And this is the best part about it, because when the ladies go off, it's just, I have fun. Ron has fun. It's the same way.
They
It's
do a
great.
great job, man. I just love listening to how articulate they are and how precise they are. They know what they're talking about, man. And it just
Exactly.
makes me just shake my head like, yeah, keep on going, girls, keep on going. You got it going on.
That's
And
just
look,
it.
when I get on that turntable, you're gonna understand what's going on, Angel.
Okay, I want to listen. I want to see. That's all I
You
gotta say is I
understand
want to
what's
see.
going on.
Okay.
Yeah, I got some tricks in my bag, bro.
Okay.
Hilarious.
We're gonna see. When I get the music side set up, listen, it's gonna be, for those who missed out a little bit earlier. There is gonna be music over on sports radio side. It's gonna be neat because again, you'll be able to hear music in between the different shows. As more and more shows are coming over to the network, that's the whole part of it. And the reason why I switched platforms were for that same reason, because now I play music obviously on Martinez and Company, and it'll transition over here to Sports Radio 102.9 The Game. So it's going to be really, you never know. Coach Johnson might make an appearance. Mrs. Johnson might, listen, I might even hit up Mrs. Davis. I'm just saying. I might hit her up. Celebrities around here, Mrs. Davis.
I
You
want
never
you to know,
know.
Angel, she's well equipped and
Yeah.
versed in basketball language and knowledge. She may not have played, but she's well versed.
Oh,
See-
okay.
Oh no, listen, I'm fine with that. I
Man.
was talking about on the music side of the house too. So listen,
Yeah.
never know.
Put on them dancing shoes, girl. Put on them shoes. Man. Yeah, we're going to
but-
scar them up a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
It could, listen, this morning at work, and I will tell you because it thankfully as I run ragged in my full-time job behind 9 yards, today I decided to make it there you go. She comes right out and says facts. Which is so
I love it. I love it.
oh, that's what makes the show great. But this morning I decided to do some disco this morning because when the owner walked in, he goes, "What do you listen to? You got some throwback music?" How many times do I have to? I'm not 20 years old, folks. I am my age at 53, but I was listening to some disco. I was moving, shaking, grooving, you name it. I was doing everything. The only thing I needed was just a camera to go live. That was about it. But it's great
Frankie
times.
Beverly.
Disco era was
Frankie
fun.
Beverly, huh?
Yeah.
That Frankie Beverly. I know what you like.
Listen, I was just having as much. Matter of fact, I do some flower. I was like LeBron. I just picked it up and just threw it up in the air, and I was good to go. So it's just one of those things. But thanks to everybody who tuned in tonight. We do appreciate it. We'll be back here again next week, regular time at 8 o'clock. So as soon as I sign off from Martinez Company, we'll get everything going here at Sports Radio side. Because again, it's what makes it. Even though I run ragged throughout the week, I don't care because it's fun when I have the ladies on, when I have Ron on, Mr. Worldwide. Everybody knows it. So I do appreciate the support, the love. Mrs. Davis for coming back. Mr. Johnson, I saw him pull in a couple seconds ago talking hoops. And everybody else who listens in worldwide here at Sports Radio because things are continuing to excel. I just got to make sure I put all the drive back so that don't worry, laptop, you're going to bed here soon. Don't worry about it. I got you. But
Hey, look, let me say this, Angel. I want to thank
Sure.
everybody for DMing me and letting me know how good the show is, and especially a shout out to the ladies, man. They want to know when the ladies are coming back on. I was like, dang, bro. I'll be on tonight.
Yeah.
Hold it down.
Well, thank
So-
you. Coach Mack and I really appreciate it, and
No,
Yes.
we could talk
y'all
about
y'all making it happen, man. Me and Angel, we just showing up.
That's it. That is just it. I can't wait. Listen, pretty soon this could be the T-shirts. Don't worry, the portfolios are all coming out soon. You guys will get autographs. Just to make things that much more better. And St. Louis, thank you. That's all I got to say. I'm going to say it every time. Just thank you. Y'all might get her back, maybe.
He's a
I'm just
thief.
saying,
He's a thief.
maybe. The ladies rock. That's true, Mrs. Davis. That is so true. So
See?
true.
See?
They
now.
do.
She is a little biased.
That's
No,
all
no, no.
right, but it's true for bias.
It's true. I have to agree. So thank you to everybody who tunes in. Again, we'll be back here next week at the regular time as things are starting to wind down on the other side. We're starting to iron everything out. The kinks are working out. Eventually, I will sleep when I take that forever dirt nap. But until then, until the wheels fall off, I can't wait to do it again. So thank you to everyone. Thank you to Ron, Coach Mack, Coach Johnson especially, Mr. Johnson, Mrs. Davis, everyone tunes in. For my producer over at Studio B, if she's not asleep yet by now, as I've been running at Lady Ragged, but the wedding's coming. The wedding's coming. So next year we'll have fun. Oh, by the way, for those who don't know, as well, Tony Bruno is going to be the ordained minister for that evening. So he will be performing the duties. Yeah. So I can't. You guys know where it's going to be. No one else knows where it's going to be because if I let that out, everybody will be there. So maybe afterwards. Let's
A little undercover here, huh?
a little bit. Mr. Johnson, I'm ready.
He's ready to be on the show. That was I think, in regards to the show.
That's okay. Well, listen, we'll bring him on. But over on Martinez and Company, people are starting to find out that it just doesn't. You don't have to have a super high status come on the show. Because I reached out to a couple people on social media, and they were like, "What? You want me to have you listen? You got game? Bring it on, because we're gonna have people on there." Ms. Johnson, just saying. Just saying. So, yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's going to be happening here soon. And I still have to have that conversation with you anyways, as far as the TBL side of the house, because there's a lot of moving parts. I swear one of these days I'm going to take, it was a Pepe Le Pew. What was the cartoon that they, one time, it might've been Tom and Jerry where they taped their eyelids back. It might've been Jerry. That's going to be me soon. It's going to be me soon. But thank you to everyone. Once again, I appreciate it. Please, as I say over in Martinez Company, if you're going to drink, please do not drink and drive. Arrive live. Do not text and drive because it is vitally important. We want to keep everybody around. So be safe while you're driving your automobile, your motorcycle, whatever it is, whatever wheels that get you to and from. Just be safe because we want to see you all here come next week. So thank you to everybody. We appreciate it. And we will see you all back here next week on Talking Hoops.
See you later.
Yep. Thank you, everyone. All right. We'll see you all next week.